In the half shell, turtle power. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. I do truly appreciate it. And to answer the question that's on the tip of everybody's tongues, in the forefront of everyone's mind, I know this. Raphael. Who else? Raphael. This is not a Ninja Turtles video, but Raphael, as I say. Today I'm doing a little bit of experimentation. I'm doing a type of video that I usually don't do. It just seemed fun. I'd seen there's a YouTuber that likes to shout out other YouTubers and stuff like that. BookTube, if you will. People on the YouTube that talk about books. They call that BookTube. I don't know how it works. Anyway, I thought, well, I wonder who I like the most. So I decided, hey, I'll do a top 5 videos, my top 5 favorite YouTube videos. How do I know who's my favorite? I don't know. I can do a little thinking, but it's better to not think and just have somebody tell you what your favorite is. That's my theory anyway, right? But when you want somebody to tell you what your favorite YouTuber, who your favorite YouTubers are, why not just go to YouTube? So I went to the YouTube and I looked up this list. It's a list of the YouTubers that I watch the most. And weirdly enough, the top 6 had 5 BookTubers on it. Go figure. So I just figured, hey, the proof is in the pudding. Who do you watch the most? Maybe correlates in some way, shape, or form to who your favorites are. Now, I wouldn't necessarily have chosen this list in this order as my favorite BookTubers, but it's pretty close, and some of it's surprising. So here we go. Without any further ado, I made a list based on YouTube, and here goes the list. So number 5 on BookTubers. Just this is the order of the ones I watch the most. Number 5 is Zack's Books. Ta-da! Zack's Books. I must watch Zack's Books an awful lot. Top 5 BookTubers that I watch. Now, I stumbled into Zack's Books, not even on a search or anything like that. I was watching a live stream by some other people that talk about books, and he was mentioned, Zack's Books. And Zack's Books has his wife is named Danielle, and she's got a YouTube channel as well. Something about Danielle's. She wasn't in my top 5. But anyway, his wife's got a channel too. You know, kind of cool. They talk together sometimes about different things. And I thought, hey, I got a wife that reads. Dang, why don't we talk about books together on the YouTube? So in some way, Zack's Books may have influenced this channel, this vastly inferior channel. It's terrific as nowhere near Zack's Books. I'm not even in the top 20 on my list. I don't watch my own videos. Anyway, Zack's Books. I stumbled into Zack's Books. He does a lot of book reviews. He does videos where he'll go book shopping at bookstores, and while he's there, he'll kind of whisper. I mean, I get it. In a bookstore with lots of people around, feels kind of weird when you're filming yourself talking about crap and people are walking by and walking through. You feel a little bit self-conscious. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Anyway, he has the guts to go out and do it and just talk in the bookstore with people around. So credit to Zack's Books for having the cajones. Cajones, according to Paulie on Rocky 5, the cajones is Latin for Spanish nuts. I learn my vocabulary by watching the television. Anyway, Zack at Zack's Books does all kinds of reviews and things like that, and top 5s and the typical BookTube stuff. Only he's got his own personality and their own style, and they talk about their own things and such as that. But Zack makes me smile a lot of times, you know. I try to, when I do these videos, I like to smile. I like people that are not quite as serious as everybody tries to be serious and always factual and always correct, knowing all the things. I don't give a fuck about that. If I want to know facts, I just Wikipedia like everybody else. Anyway, well, that's a joke. Get it? Dad? You know. Anyway, Zack makes me smile sometimes. I don't know if he's doing it on purpose or if it's just his natural way of doing things. Makes me smile, makes me chuckle a little bit, and I try to do that stuff. Usually when I'm being goofy on purpose. Sometimes, though, when I'm being goofy, it's because I'm a goof, and I own it. But anyway, Zack's books. Zack makes me smile. Sometimes he makes me chuckle. Sometimes he makes me shake my head, and sometimes he makes me say, I want to read that book. Anyway, so Zack's books is number 5 on the BookTube list. Now, I'm going down the list. I said the top 6 were all BookTubes. The next one is one that I've actually more recently stumbled into, and it's Andrew's Wizardly Reads. And Andrew's Wizardly Reads talks about books and stuff like that, book-related things. Not really a lot of times not really the books that I read. See, Andrew's Wizardly books lends me to think we're talking about a lot of fantasy, and I don't actually read a lot of fantasy. In fact, I don't read a whole lot at all of fantasy. But Andrew does talk about books that I dig, and a lot of times I stumble into the fact that, hey, this guy is a fan of F. Paul Wilson, one of maybe my favorite author who ever lived. Talks about some of the books that I dig, like The Tomb, my second favorite book that I ever read, The Keep, and some of that stuff. So that's cool. Yeah, he digs the good stuff, which I dig. But what I like most about that guy's channel is he is smart and well-spoken, and he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. And he has a lot of information. He speaks very well, and he's entertaining to boot. So watching Andrew's Wizardly Reads entertains me, and it does not hurt to hear a little bit of talk that's entertaining and smart about things that maybe I ought to be more involved in. I don't know. There's probably a lot of stuff that he reads and talks about that I would love if I gave it a shot. So expanding my world and broadening my horizons is what Andrew's Wizardly Reads does. And occasionally he'll actually say something nice to me. And people that say something nice to me about what I do, they're my friends. That's how we do it here. Anyway, Andrew's Wizardly Reads made the top 5. And that was kind of a surprise because I stumbled onto it recently. But I must have been watching a lot of his videos. Must be. It's on up there. Now the next one. Hello, my friends. Hello. Vaughan Manor, ringing a bell. Michael K. Vaughan. And I rewatched this guy's videos, I'll tell you up front, because he entertains me. He's an entertaining fellow. He doesn't take this stuff all that seriously at all. Kind of like me, only he takes it a step farther. Stately Vaughan Manor and Stately Vaughan Lodge and whatever, that kind of stuff. And his big friend. Anyway, he does a lot of fantasy too, but he often sticks to more old stuff, fantasy and horror. And Robert E. Howard, if you ever want to know much about the Conan stuff, Michael K. Vaughan sure does spend a lot of time talking about it, which I dig. I'm in. Talk about fantasy. That's the kind of fantasy that I intend to get more involved in forthwith, right away up front, just as quick as I can get to it. Anyway, Michael K. Vaughan makes me laugh. He makes me smile. He entertains me. I can watch a video of his about stuff I don't care about, and then want to watch the next one about stuff I don't care about. Not that he only talks about stuff I don't care about, but I don't read comics. I'm not a comic fan. Nothing wrong with them. I just don't really follow it. And I'll listen to Michael K. Vaughan talk about such things because he's that dang good. I almost said a bad word. All right. I got a list. I got it wrote down right here. So, number 2, Michael K. Vaughan. Number 2 is called Too Many Books. T-O-O. Too Many Books. Used to be called Splink. A fellow by the name of Sean P. Lynch. Hello! And it's Tuesday, which is usually my book reviews day. Sean is one cool dude. He is really, really good at having the lowdown, the knowledge on the books that he's talking about, whether he's read them or not. He can tell you all about it and then say halfway through the video, I haven't read this book. And it seems like, dude, you already know everything about this book, so there's no point in reading it even. Anyway, he only shows his hands. He's got the hands. But he talks about books, unboxing videos and stuff like that. And I'm a book collector and a book reader. So he'll review books that I never would have even considered reading. And he unboxes books from publishers a lot of times that I never would have even considered buying from. Nothing against them. I just didn't know what they had going on. So he'll broaden my horizons as a collector and a reader. And he is very knowledgeable and well-spoken. and shows me a lot of cool stuff. Sometimes stuff I couldn't get, I didn't know I'd want. I decided not to get, but he did anyway, and now I get to see, check it out, and all that stuff. So I really dig it. A lot of times when I go to BookTube, it's to see what stuff is all about, what it looks like, what people thought and what they felt, whether it be reading a book or buying a book and what they got for their money and how long it took and stuff like that. And too many books, Sean Lynch delivers just what the doctor ordered. So he's number 2 on the BookTube top 5 for yours truly. Now, the next one, this one is actually the second most on my list, but it's not BookTube, so I just mention them in passing. Retro Life for You. They don't talk about books. Maybe they do in passing, but they talk about other stuff, movies, wrestling, action figures, 80s stuff, songs, commercials, whatever. And I dig it. They're, like me, they don't take the stuff too seriously. They have fun. They goof around. I mean, sometimes you'll see a guy sitting in a recliner smoking a cigarette and like he couldn't care less. But he's making a YouTube video and they got a podcast and all that stuff. But I dig those guys, but that's not BookTube. So number 1, numero uno, most watch. And that is the person that I watched his video and I said, you know what? I could maybe do that. So he's to blame. It's his fault. And that is Jeff Terry at the Jeff Word. That sorry son of a started all this mess. It's terrific. Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Jeff Word. So blame that guy. Blame him. But anyway, guys, a nice fellow who I've actually met. I met the Jeff Terry. I met him a few times now. See, we both collect books and we read books and we're into this kind of crap. And he lives in the neighborhood of Lookout Mountain. And I got a little place up there in the neighborhood of Lookout Mountain. He's Chattanooga-ish, I'm Fort Payne-ish. But in Birmingham, Alabama, Robert McCammon seems to show up there from time to time, it seems like every year. So I met him a few times there. But anyway, Jeff Terry does a lot of the crap that I always was interested in. So I started looking up books like Suntup Editions. And they got on my radar because they were publishing books by authors that I dig. That's what I collect. And I started wanting to buy them. And then I'd find out more and more and more. And I'd want to know what it looked like and stuff. And I'd stumble into Jeff Terry's The Jeff Word. I think he used to have a different name. Jeffing Off or something. Anyway, I stumbled into his channel. He had something like 700 subscribers at the time. But he was unboxing and showing off a lot of these books that I liked. And like me, he was goofing off. He wasn't taking it all that seriously, but it was his passion. And I could tell that. And I dug it, man. I dug it. So he's the one I watch the most. And nowadays, he doesn't do as much of that stuff. He does a weekly live every Monday night at 8:30, where it's just a bunch of people that are into that kind of junk. And he'll talk about the latest news and gossip and rants and who's publishing what and all that kind of stuff. And people get to say, oh, it's snowing here, and he'll comment about that. They'll talk about football or whatever people want to talk about. You know how you go in there and you type stuff, and while he's talking, he'll read what you typed, and he may or may not comment on that, but he reads them all, and it's fun. It's a fun thing to do. Wish I'd have thought of it. Just saying. Johnny come lately. Way it goes. Anyway, it's a fun thing, and he'll still do unboxings and stuff like that, and book reviews. I don't think he does book reviews. He does maybe every now and then. He'll do one occasionally. He's a real big fan not of Bentley Little, and a real big fan not of Richard Chismar, and a real big not fan of Gauntlet Press, and a real big not fan of Cemetery Dance. So he can have a little fun getting mad and talking about mad stuff. But anyway, that's the one I watch the most. What does that say about me? But I can't help it. It's YouTube's fault. It was their list. I didn't do it. I wasn't even there. Anyway, thank you for your time. I do truly appreciate it. That's all the lies I can think of at the moment. So, c'est la vie. Baby. doo-doo, and watch them videos on BookTube. It can be fun. It can be more than just hurry up and get to the point and show me the thing I want to see and tell me the thing I want to hear. It's fun. I watch videos because I want to be entertained more often than not. If I want to figure out why my Jeep won't start, I want a video that's going to hurry up and get to the point and tell me why my Jeep won't start. If I want to watch a video about a book, probably just want to be entertained as much as anything. There you go. That's all I got.
It's terrific. It's terrific.